Let's talk about future a bit. Where do you see BI heading in the next 5 or 10 years? If we can plan for 10 years, of course.
So immediately everyone wants to hear, AI and machine learning, which is awesome, right? But how? Let's start before that. Let's start smaller than that. I see companies actually buying into the need for BI more than they ever have in the past, right? We mentioned that the shock at how many companies still are on those spreadsheets, right, that you were talking about, and trying to tell more stories than the software tools they use reporting has in them. As more companies add BI and more people share stories on the amazing value it delivers, more companies will finally take that step forward. It continues to amaze me at how many companies have very little and or poor data at their fingertips. Other than an uptick in the adoption of BI, clearly artificial intelligence and machine learning will take BI to the next level, right? This brings me back to that example where we were able to come up with that customer risk score, right? So that was cool. I really was proud of that. That was awesome. We couldn't have done it without our centralized BI system. But that customer risk score was a project that took months of pulling and reviewing all different data points, comparing those data points to churn metrics and other metrics, comparing data to not only identify the data points that had a correlation to customer churn, but to understand the margin of error on each data point, then adding multiple data points together and understanding the combined margin of error. With machine learning, if we had machine learning back then, that could have been a single day task, not a multi-month long project, right? And as much as I hate to say it, my guess is that machine learning would have found even more data points than my team did, and an end result with an even lower margin of error than we had, as proud as we were of what we did come up with. So that said, to properly tap into the power of AI and machine learning, you still need to have launched your central BI data warehouse and ecosystem. Artificial intelligence and machine learning have simply become another iteration in the long process of slow improvements over time, albeit a very powerful iteration.